All right, so last time we were on the show, Britney Spears was just fresh out of her conservatorship, or at least a couple weeks out of her conservatorship. So let's go ahead and check in on Britney, see how she's doing.
Holy shit, fuck balls. Whoa, girl, fuck. Wow. Oh my god. Holy shit, wow, fucking balls, eh? Yeah, holy shit, balls. Holy shit, fuck.
She's back in it, right?
I think that's it, right? That's it. She's good.
They clamped it back down.
You had your shot, so
They put her right back in the conservatorship. Nope, she is free, and that's as Feidelberg from Barstool said. All you people pulling for the Britney conservatorship to be lifted, you're gonna have blood on your hands, and that's what I said last week. I don't tell a lie.
I mean, as long as she doesn't go on like a shooting rampage, I feel like we're okay.
It's all in jest.
Yeah.
This is just very funny because I think she is just
Letting
kind
it
of
out.
weird at this point in her life. Yeah, and letting it out, sure. I think that is very funny, though.
It is very funny. Immediately.
Immediately.
It's like the stove, hey, I just cooked this. It's hot. Don't touch it.
What are you going to do?
You're going to touch it.
Oh, God.
She can't help herself. But.
What have we done?
it's the mid-rant burp that does it for me. It goes right back to it.
Also, like, this is the video you're going with? This is the video you're just going to put out on Instagram?
That's the winner.
Whatever. It's very funny. Good for Brittany. But let's keep it. We'll keep tabs on her.
Yeah. We'll check in periodically.
You got anything going on?
Brittany Wouch.
Brittany Wouch.
I do. I actually have a funny story that happened to me today. So I went to Home Depot today. Me, Holly, Goose, Lenny.
The whole family.
Whole family. Little family trip to Home Depot.
I'm sure you got exactly what you needed, and everybody was very helpful.
Actually, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Funny enough, yes. So I couldn't find. Well, it is funny. So our gutter, like a part of the gutter, is like the screws came off on like the bracket. So, but they're like rusted into the bracket. So I'm like, I'll just get a couple new brackets. So I asked. You'd think they'd be in hardware. Of course they're not. There's a separate gutter department at Home Depot. So I asked. I'm walking down an aisle, and I'm like, oh, there's an employee. I'm sure she knows. So I'm like, oh, I'm looking for like the brackets that hold like the gutter to the house. She's like, yeah, they're in the gutter aisle. I'm like, all right, can you give me a number, a bay? So we eventually found it. But then we're checking out, and I always do self-checkout no matter where I go now. I really don't like going to the cashiers. But at Home Depot, they have like a squad of people like kind of managing the self-checkout section. So we're
they might as well be ringing you up.
Yeah, pretty much. Which maybe it's like because people steal stuff. I don't know why they're there. But anyway, so I go up with Goose on the leash, and the lady's like, oh, look who's back, to Goose. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Like, I definitely don't know this lady. And, I don't know. Goose couldn't have been here.
She just goes off on her spare time. She goes to Home Depot.
It's like, oh, I got to get a bucket. So I'm like, oh, yeah, playing along. I don't know what to say. So I'm like, yeah. Like, yeah, here she is. It's Goose. She's like, yep, it's Goose. I'm like, okay. Then Holly comes up with Lenny, and she's like, oh, look, little Miss Thing's back. I'm like, all right, Lenny's never been here. I know. So I guess it's just this woman's way of, like, saying, like, hey, how you doing? But she made it seem like she knew.
Oh, you never got to the bottom of it? You just
No, I think that's just how she says hi.
It's very strange.
Very strange. So anyway, she's like, oh, she's so cute. Holly's like, oh, thank you. And this woman, I would guesstimate she's in her late 50s, early 60s.
Okay.
So she's like, yep, just had mine yesterday. Like talking about Lenny, and we're like,
A baby?
So Holly's like, oh, okay. And she's like, yeah. And Holly's like, your daughter? She's like, yeah, my daughter-in-law. And we're like, oh, okay, that's great. So that generation has this horrible habit, and I've noticed it since we've had Lennon, of saying, like, mine. Like, my mom will say, like, oh, like, my Isabella. No, that's your granddaughter.
Oh, she's talking about a granddaughter.
So her daughter had her granddaughter.
I just had my, right, yes. She meant baby.
But I just had mine. You're, like, wouldn't you think that meant, like, you just had a baby?
That's exactly what it sounds like. Yeah.
And, like, I find people saying that even, like, on Facebook, Instagram, like, grandparents will be like, oh, my, that's not yours. You didn't have the baby.
Just very excited to have
I guess, but, we just be the grandparent.
Yeah.
It's not yours. No, it's okay.
It's one extra word. Oh, my granddaughter.
Yes.
That's it.
But it was very
Not
interesting.
mine.
And an otherwise uneventful trip to Home Depot. I thought we were getting out unscathed. And then the self-checkout lady threw that at us.
So. I've talked about on the show how I like am fed up with like customer service at Lowe's and Home Depot, those two places. I go in there now and I know I will know where stuff is and I will ask people. Like I think there's something tripped in my brain. I think I'm like crossing over to like the path of like our dads. Like, and I'm just like,
there.
Something's gone haywire in my brain where now I know where stuff is and I still ask just so I can be angry when they tell me the wrong place.
Oh yeah.
So you're kind of setting yourself up.
Yeah, it's something I gotta really look at deeper, but that's for another day. Adam.
My question was for Ryan. I know I've been doing a lot of stuff at the house lately in the yard, and for your little gutter project, did you get everything you needed in one shot, or like do you have to go back because you forgot something?
No, so I literally only needed 2 of the brackets.
Okay.
So I'm going to take the old ones off and put the new ones on, and the brackets come with screws.
Yeah.
And we got everything else we needed too. We lowered Lennon's crib today.
Oh.
She's almost starting to go from a sitting to a laying down to a sitting position.
Nice.
So we had to lower the crib, but then the crib is the exact level as the outlets. So we know she's going to be like poking at that. So we had to get safety covers for the outlets. And I think that was it.
You're very calculated in what you had to get. You and Holly are good with that because I know exactly what Adam's getting at. Because I don't think I ever did a project myself or starting with my dad where we went to Lowe's and then you come home and it's you're doing it, and then it's like, what the fuck? Where is this? Where is X? Where is Y? Where's the screws?
Yep. Then you got to go back. You got to make another trip. It'll take you another hour. And you got to go back to Lowe's, drop another $100, and then come back to the house.
It was way worse when I couldn't drive when I was younger, and I would do a project with my dad. And like my dad always it's how I learned how to do stuff on my own. Is like doing stuff with my dad.
Yeah.
But I have zero patience. My dad has zero patience for things. It kind of rubs off on me. I hate it. That's just how it is. He's taught me everything with that. But when I couldn't drive, I'd have to go back to Lowe's with him, and I hated that. Or like Home Depot, or take another ride and go get something else, and I hated that. But then as I got older, if I was doing something with him, I'm like, you know what? I'll go. And then that way I could like decompress on the way, go get the thing I need, come back, continue the project.
I try to be as prepared as I can.
Yeah.
When my dad and I were building the deck for the back after the patio got poured, I begged my dad to draw out the deck so we could get all of the lumber that we needed. Begged him to do it. He said, no, I got it all in my head. I'm like, Dad, I swear to God, if we have to make 10 trips back and forth to Lowe's, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. And sure enough, we build the frame for it. Great. Everything's going smooth. It was a long day. So he comes back another day so we could put the decking on. And I had 10 footers, 5/4 by 6 by 10 foot boards for the decking because the deck was supposed to be 10 feet long. The deck was 10 feet, 2 inches long. So every fucking board that I had was too small. So I had to bring them back to the lumber yard, pick up 12 footers and get those back home to do that. I lost my mind in the car. I was so mad.
Ruins your day.
It does. Now I've got all the cost wise, it wasn't a big because it was an exchange. In the exchange, it only ended up costing me $30 more, which is no big deal. But now I've got all these little pieces of wood at my house. I don't know what the fuck to do with.
Burn them.
Yeah.
It's beginning. The wood purge of 2021 is starting at the Vieira Nash household because all of the cutoffs that I use for projects all the year, I gather up in one spot and I throw them in the fireplace, and they heat the house for a few hours.
Yeah, that's what we have from the basement. Like our contractor, he saved us all the end scraps. So
Yeah,
now we use it either in the fire pit or a fireplace.
Excellent. Welcome to the Average Nobody's podcast, number 135 for December
7th,
2021. All the Average Nobodies are here today. We got Ryan, we got Adam, and of course me, Mattress.
He owns the podcast. He owns you.
We have a very exciting draft today.
We do. Courtesy of Mike D.
Mike D. Shout out Mike D. This is going to be a draft of movies that we wish we could see again for the first time. Like if our mind was wiped.
Right.
And we could experience them for the first time again. We also have celebrity birthdays. 9 of them, if I'm correct in saying that, Adam.
That is correct. 9 celebrity birthdays, and I don't know if you'll get all of them, but I think you'll get most of them.
In Adam speak, that means we're getting 2.
Yes.
And maybe we'll recognize another. No, 9 sounds terrific. Let's get into that then.
I don't really know how to start.
Nope, that's not it.
It's time
That's the
for
one.
everyone's favorite game show, Celebrity Birthdays.
Who is it?
All right, so now I can only see Ryan, so I'm going to need to hear your cause so I can, discern who buzzed in.
Call.
Ooh, that's a good call.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go. That was a little bit higher. I'm gonna go call.
Okay.
Call.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to give you, going to get you warmed up with an easy one. Writer, director, actor, and 3-peat fantasy football champion. This shit sipper knows how to manage his Hollywood equipment.
Call.
Brian.
Nick Kroll.
Nope.
Call.
Matt?
It's Andre from the league. Is Paul Scheer?
It's not him.
Fuck.
Steven Razaninsky. No, he didn't.
Nope.
Pete?
Fuck. Oh yes.
Pete from the league.
Call. It's Mark.
Duplass.
That's the one.
I shouldn't have cut in. That's my
No,
fault.
no, you got it.
I mean,
Nope.
we were
Going
circling.
to do a half a point for the both of you.
All right. Sorry, I shouldn't have cut
We got there after we named every person on the league.
in. I thought Ruck. Oh. Yeah, I guess that's a good one.
3-peat.
You know,
Very
you know what
good.
pisses me off too?
Very
We're
good.
rewatching the league.
Are you really?
It'll be in my what we're watching, but yeah. Stupid Ryan.
How old is Mark Duplass today?
You wanna go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. I'm gonna say 51.
Okay, Matt.
I'm gonna say he's 48.
He is 45.
Oh.
Pretty shocking, right? So that means he was in his 30s when he did that show.
He's one of those weird guys that like looks middle aged. I think he's always kind of looked that way. He's never looked young.
He's been making movies
Yeah.
for a while too with his brother,
Yeah.
with Jay.
Right. Okay. Number 2. He couldn't stop the husky before the thing got to McGreedy, but this bearded redhead sure has a thing for tall blondes and snow.
Fuck. Can you say it again?
I'm getting an echo on my end. It's driving me crazy.
An echo?
Yeah, I can hear myself.
Oh, you can hear yourself. Oh fuck.
That's okay. I'll power through.
Okay. Sorry.
He couldn't stop the husky before the thing got to McReady, but this bearded redhead sure has a thing for tall blondes and snow.
I've never seen the thing. Is that a thing?
Listen to the second part.
Yeah.
This bearded redhead sure has a thing for tall blondes and snow.
I don't know. I mean, I know it's a character from The Thing. No? I don't know if I know anybody except for Keith David.
Before the thing.
Oh, fuck. Wyatt Russell. Call Wyatt Russell. No, who?
No.
Fuck. I don't know who's in that movie.
You guys give up?
Yes.
It's tough. It's Christopher Hivju. He plays Tormund from Game of Thrones.
Oh, fuck. You know what, too? When I was thinking of the older Thing, I was thinking of him, but I was like, he's not in that. Definitely not.
But he was in the prequel from the early 2000s.
Right. Fuck.
That's why I said before. All right, how old is Christopher Hivju?
I'm gonna say he's, I don't know, 43.
Okay.
I'm going to say he's 45.
Christopher Hivju is 43 years old.
Yes.
Nice.
Hey, I'll take it.
Hey, nice.
Hit
All right, this one might be a little tough, but I think you guys can get it. A musician who never wants to grow up and found himself way down in the hole influenced the most famous iteration of the Crown Prince of Crime with his voice and mannerisms.
It's the guy who did the theme song for The Wire.
I don't know.
Is it a person or a group?
It's a person. If there's an interview with him where it's like, that's the joke. That's the Joker. Heath Ledger's Joker.
Really?
Yeah. It's pretty wild.
I don't know. I don't know what his name is.
Matt?
I don't know his name.
It's Tom Waits.
Ooh, okay.
Tom Waits.
I know him. I know of him.
So if you look it up on YouTube, there's like a him in an interview, and the way he talks and the way he moves himself, it must have been Heath Ledger's influence for the Joker, to how to play the character. So it's pretty interesting. How old is Tom Waits today?
I'm gonna say 68.
I'm gonna say he's 71.
Oh, he's 72.
Fuck.
Close, but no cigar.
Okay. An actor working so much these days, he watches the universes in Marvel and the streets of Gotham. You don't know if he's a man or a machine.
Say it again.
An actor working so much these days, he watches. An actor working so much these days, you don't know if he's a man or a machine. He watches the universes in Marvel and the streets of Gotham for DC.
Oh, I don't think I know that now. Fuck.
You guys are killing me.
You're killing me. These are tough.
I don't watch any of these superhero movies.
Call. It's not Jeffrey Wright, is it?
It is Jeffrey Wright.
Who is he in the MCU?
He's the Watcher in What If.
Oh, see, I haven't seen that, but I do know the. I know from Westworld. He's in Westworld as a robot.
He's in a lot of stuff. It's not a superhero movie.
Man or Machine. Those are the ones that I've seen with him in.
He's also going to be Commissioner Gordon
Yes.
in the upcoming Batman movie.
How old
Commissioner
is
Gordon.
Jeffrey Wright?
He's 48.
Ryan?
It's a good guess. I'm gonna say he's 46.
He is 56.
Ah,
Guys are way off.
depends on your definition.
A student of Professor X and Magneto who used his brains to end his blues before he drove the Fury Road to Valhalla.
Fuck.
I'm just gonna take a wild guess. Nicholas Holt.
Yes.
That's who it is, Nicholas Holt.
Ah, God damn it. Couldn't think of his name.
Nicholas Holt.
It was. Thank you.
You're welcome.
How old is Nicholas Holt?
He is 33.
Steve Holt.
Matt?
He is 36.
He is 32.
Damn.
So this one
I know Nick
surprised me
Holt.
because it's another student of Professor and Magneto with talent screaming to get out on 3 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri.
Call.
Ryan.
No, that's not right. I was gonna say Sam Rockwell.
Nope.
I don't think I'm going to get the name.
I'll accept a character name.
Three billboards. I'm trying to think.
I don't even have her X-Men name.
Call.
Right.
Allison Williams.
Nope. You give up?
Yes, I do.
He was Banshee in
Oh,
X-Men First Class.
Oh, they said she.
And
Yeah, that's why.
oh, did I?
I thought so.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Well, it's a guy.
It's
All right, I'll go back.
It's fuck. Well, I mean it's Banshee, obviously. I can't say the character name. Never mind. Just go say it again. You might know the actor's name. Now can you picture him?
Did I say the actor's name?
No, I'm talking to Ryan.
I don't think so. No. He's in Get Out too.
He is in Get Out.
No, I only know the main people in Get Out.
So it's the brother in Get Out, and he's also in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. His name is Caleb Landry Jones.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that. That doesn't even ring a bell. Oh, well.
Sorry, guys.
Hey, that's
It's a
all
tough
right.
one.
The brother in Get Out, like the white brother,
Yeah,
like this. Okay, I'm trying to picture him.
Yeah.
the one that like, yeah, the
With the
brother.
lacrosse stick.
Yep, gotcha.
Yeah. How old is Caleb Landry Jones?
I'm going to say he's 33.
I'm gonna say he's 29.
He is the same exact age as Nicholas Holt. He's 32.
Fuck.
I
God
thought that was interesting. They're same movie together and same exact age.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Same birthday.
Same birthday, yeah.
All right, so this one you guys will definitely get. I hope. Most famously known for her role as the sister of America's favorite serial killer, but I know her as the star of an exorcism in the scariest movie trailer of all time.
Oh.
Matt,
It's Emily Rose.
it is Emily Rose.
I don't know the actress's name, though.
You guys didn't watch Dexter?
No.
I don't
Sorry,
know.
that sort of blew it on that one.
I don't know her name. Actually, never did
Nothing?
watch. No, I can picture her, but I don't know her name.
Her name is Jennifer Carpenter.
They had the nerve to play that trailer before Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo.
So think about it.
What, The Exorcism?
The Exorcism of Emily Rose. They played it before Adam and I were seeing Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo.
Who made that call?
I don't know.
What a horrible idea. You're all ready to watch a fun
It's called a
movie?
movie.
Yeah. Horrifying.
All right, how old is Jennifer Carpenter?
She is 42.
44.
She's 42.
Hey!
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 He's here.
Is that the last
Okay.
one?
Nope, I've got
10 more.
2 more.
All right.
2 more. All right, I hope you guys get one of these. An actor who always seems to be cast in some type of military role. He couldn't replace Charlton Heston in the Roman army, and he couldn't get his face replaced on the boardwalk of Atlantic City.
Oh. Fuck. I mean, it's
Ryan, come on.
it's the dude from. Oh fuck! What is his name?
I don't know these actors' names though. I mean, they're good characters, but I don't know. And he was in Perry Mason too. I don't know his name.
I forget. I don't even know. The character name escapes me as well from Boardwalk.
So his name is Jack Huston, a.k.a. Richard Harrow,
Harrow.
from Boardwalk Empire.
Right. Harrow.
So these are all like actors that have had like one, like they're just it's one role, so it's tough to remember their names.
Hey, not my problem.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
How old is Jack Huston today?
Oh fuck.
I'm gonna say he's 46.
Matt?
I'm gonna say he's 45.
He is 39.
Hey, it would have been cool if you were right.
Hey, it would have been.
Jack Huston. I should have known.
All
that
right,
one.
this is the last one. Probably won't get this one
Huston.
either.
Huston.
Fools. He learned the hard way for a stranger not to hitch his ride in his car, and he was also punished by the Punisher. But no matter how his characters ended up, he'll always stay gold.
Oh. Ugh. Shit. All right. Well, it's a character from The Outsiders. Let's break this down. And I know most of the characters from The Outsiders. It's not the Karate Kid,
Ralph Macchio.
Ralph Macchio. It's Paul. Fuck. Don't. Howell. Philip something Howell. Is that his name?
I will accept it. C. Thomas Howell.
C. Thomas
AKA
Howell.
Pony Boy from The Outsiders.
I wanted to say Thomas C. Howell, but I knew that didn't sound right. Yes. C.
Yeah.
Thomas Howell.
So, but the other two movies I was referencing is, well, I mean, he was in the original version of The Hitcher and The Punisher. Brutally murdered him in the Punisher series.
Ooh, I'll have to look him up.
I'll bring up a picture of him if you want to see him.
Yeah.
You'll definitely recognize him.
I never
He's
watched
in-
The Hitcher, but
He was like one of the. Yeah, he's in a bunch of stuff.
he doesn't look like he's doing well.
You recognize him? That's him from The Outsiders.
I do recognize him. Ooh,
There he is.
that's a
Hey.
beard. Okay.
There you go. How old is C. Thomas Howell today?
Well, I didn't look.
I didn't either.
I didn't even think of that. C. Thomas Howell is. I don't know. He's 59 years old.
I'm gonna say 62.
Okay.
He is. This surprised me. 55
Wow.
years old.
Doesn't look good for 55. 55.
No.
Looks, yeah.
Maybe it's the pandemic.
Looks a little weathered.
Yeah.
I think he had a spot of drug use.
Hold on a second
in the
here.
early days. He was young in The Outsiders.
I think it's hard not to if you're like a
55.
teen heartthrob. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know exactly how that feels. I know exactly what that's
How the
like.
hell does?
What are you doing over there? Click clacking, firing up the internet?
No, nothing. We guessed his age. Yeah, that's it. That's all I had for celebrity birthdays. I'm sorry, I let you down with my clues. I thought you guys would
No,
get
you
more.
did. You did good. Tough day. Those are tough actors.
It is
Good-
also
good
hard not to
riddles.
see you say it. For some reason, I'm a visual.
In the visual
listener.
side. I gotta figure that out
No,
next.
I'm not blaming you.
Well, you are.
I'm not. I'm not blaming anybody.
That's it for this episode's edition of Celebrity Birthdays.
Who was it? And now a word from our sponsor.
Today's sponsor is
Cavit. Cavit, they make wine that I'm drinking currently. Yeah.
Make Little Bottles.
They make little bottles. I got 4 of these little bottles for $9.
How's that doing for you?
Good. I feel great.
It's a red.
It's a red. It's a red
It's a Pinot Noir.
Pinot Noir, 2020.
Good year.
Yeah, great year. Yeah.
Hey,
Drank a lot of wine in
The
2020.
sad juice.
Yeah.
Matt, I'm going to. Is he in the chat here?
What?
Can I send you? Can I send you the link to this Tom Waits interview?
What's this for?
Can you, Tom Waits, just play it. Play the video.
I can't play it right now. Can you text it to me? Text it to me and I'll play it.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll play it when Adam sends that, but we're going to get into the draft next. It's a
Yes.
very exciting draft. Again, if you're playing along at home, pause now. You're going to be selecting 5 movies that you wish you could see again. Like your mind is wiped and you wish you could see it again.
I like this draft a lot because there's a lot of different ways you can go.
Great idea. Glad I thought of it.
Yeah, this is so. Mike D had actually texted me and said he was out. I don't know if he was out with like work friends or whom he was with, but they did it with songs. So the guy the person he was with was like, like imagine if like there's like 1 or 2 songs that you could listen to for the first time all over again.
Yeah.
And then Mike's like, that would be a good idea to do for movies. So
Here's the video I'm just saying, the Tom Waits interview. I'm interested in this.
Popularity throughout the intercontinental United States, Japan, and I travel extensively in Europe as well.
You don't have to watch the whole thing. It's just
Yeah.
They tell me you have a new market now in Ireland. Is that true? Yeah.
Kind of interesting.
I've performed in Dublin and done very well there as well.
The voice does sound very similar.
he definitely strikes me as someone who like people would not understand. Like they would think he's almost like doing a bit, but that's just how he is.
right.
Very
And like that,
Like
you know,
the rocking.
a while back I saw something like, did Tom Waits inspire Heath Ledger's Joker? And it's pretty like, looks like it might have. And then I thought, the connection with The Wire and how much we love that show would have been made for a good clue.
No way. I like it. You don't have to defend yourself, Adam. You did a good job.
Let's get into the draft. So loud. All right. Draft time. I can't get a hold of this new board. All right. How are we going to pick? We got to do names out of a hat? I'm not prepared for that.
You just do.
We're just going to do, we'll do Adam,
Yeah.
Ryan, and I'll pick third.
There's only three of us. It's an easy way to do it.
Yes. Yeah. Very good. All right.
Oh, geez. I was not prepared for the first overall pick.
Well, it's one of 3 spots you could have gotten.
What do you mean you're not prepared? Now you literally can pick any movie
pick
you want.
Pick the one you're...
I don't know which way to go.
I bet you don't.
All right. So I'm just going to go with, one of my favorite movies, probably like in my top 2, maybe 3 movies. I love this movie, seeing it in theaters. It was like an experience in IMAX. I'm going to go with Interstellar. I watch it a couple times a year. I love that movie. That was something I went in and I was like super interested because it was hot off of the McConaughey, winning his Oscar, and I think it was shortly after True Detective too. And then you combine that with Christopher Nolan, the outer space theme. Seeing it in IMAX, huge theater with the big sound. That is something I would like to definitely wipe from my memory and see again. Just like the score, the visuals, the stakes of the movie, and the twists and turns of the plot was amazing. So I'm gonna go with Interstellar. It's my number 1 pick.
Very good.
Nice pick.
It was on my list as well, as you probably would expect.
It was not on my list.
Really?
Wow, that's fucked.
I mean, I like it, but I don't know.
And honestly, that was one of those I never saw it in theaters. I only saw it for the first time at home. And I definitely didn't see it in IMAX, obviously. So I'm hoping that when they do a Christopher Nolan, they usually put Christopher Nolan movies back in IMAX, putting it in maybe for when did it come out, Adam? We gotta get Connor here. 2013? I don't know.
2014.
You didn't see it in
2014?
theaters.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was a portion of... There was a gap in the mid 20-teens where I just wasn't going to movies. Only the big movies. And I guess I just missed a Christopher Nolan movie. I don't know.
Honestly, I vaguely I feel like Jen and I saw it. We must have seen it opening weekend, if not the opening Friday night. And I do not remember the theater being that full for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping for the 10-year anniversary, maybe they'll bring it back to IMAX. That'd be nice.
Yeah, maybe.
You're not going to miss it again, that's for sure.
Never, ever. Very good. Ryan, you have your little notebook ready? Little wine bottle notebooks. Ryan looks like a giant over there.
It's my new thing. I'm trying to look bigger than I am. So I'm going to go with, now, I don't know.
Stilts everywhere.
Hey, everyone. No, you're on
Ryan,
stilts.
we can see.
That's where
Your pants are very long.
Really big shoes.
Big trench coat.
So I don't know. This is the first movie I remember seeing in a theater, and I don't know if, in fact, it was. But I remember it just being it's the first movie theater experience I remember having. So I'm going to go with Titanic.
Ooh, okay. So a double whammy here. The movie and the experience of being in the theaters.
Yeah. And I mean, so it was 97 when it came out. I know that. So I had to be 8 or 9. I'm sure I saw a movie in the theater before that, I would hope. But it's the first time I remember it kind of being a big deal. And then seeing how that movie was made on the big screen was something that left a big impression on me. Just a cinematic experience. And it's a really great movie. And so it's not, obviously there's no, twists and turns. You kind of know what happens.
I don't know. We had a friend come over to watch Hamilton in our house, and afterwards she was like, "Did this really happen? Is this a true story?" And I was like, "Huh." Okay.
Kindly
Please go.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Titanic. I really love it. It's got great rewatchability. But if I could go back and kind of erase my memory and have that experience again in the theater, I would love that. That's my
Very
first
good.
pick. Thank you.
How long was the Titanic? I'm looking that up right
Over
now.
3 hours. I remember getting the DVD, and it was 3 separate DVDs.
Yeah, 3 hours and 14 minutes. So I had the VHSs, and it was 2 VHSs.
Two VHS.
Maybe that's what it was.
And I thought it was funny because, like, 3 hours and 14 minutes is even. I was trying to like see if it like lives up to like what a Marvel movie is now, like a normal Marvel movie, like two and change, almost 3 hours, some a little bit over 3 hours, but like it's still a long movie for today's standards.
Yes.
3 hours and 14 minutes. Like
If
that
anything,
hasn't
it's
changed.
too long now.
It's
Like
very
you're gonna lose a lot of the audience with that long of a movie.
I don't really. I really like Titanic. I don't remember it being that like cumbersome. 3 hours and 14 minutes is very long.
It kind of sailed along just like the Titanic until.
Oh God. Yep. Very good. All right. I got back-to-back picks here. Titanic was not on my list. Interstellar was. I'm going to go ahead with one of my favorite movies of all time. If you ask me on any given day, it would be in my top 3. It's Goodfellas. I'd watch Goodfellas again for the first time. As far as like the mob movie genre, this is not a hot take by any means. It's a very good movie. It gets its due, maybe a little too much. But as far as like the gangster movie genre, I love that, and this is my favorite movie within that genre. Hands down, very easy selection. I would see Goodfellas again. And then number 2, taking a hard U-turn.
I know it's gonna be.
It's Fast and the Furious.
There he is.
The first one, I did not see the first Fast and Furious movie in theaters. I didn't see Goodfellas in theaters either, for the record. Would have been very young for that.
It was the baby.
But Fast and Furious it doesn't stand the test of time in a lot of ways, but in also a lot of ways, I always say this about this movie, it is a perfect picture in time of that time in it's 2001, I believe it came out. And
like a pop culture,
it's
snapshot.
It is the modern, and it's not even modern anymore. 2001 was 20 years ago. It is that time's American graffiti for people that grew up around that time when things like the time of American graffiti. It's the car scene, it's the street racing, it's like the girls and the wheels and the lights and the sounds and the speed. It's all of those things, and then also with like this awesome undercover cop story, like sting operation, like fit into it. Obviously the movie, the franchise has grown into this like monstrosity that it is now.
Yeah.
But like back in the day, like that cast of characters was so like where did all these characters come from? Like Vin Diesel was from nowhere. Paul Walker was from nowhere, really.
Rodriguez.
Right, exactly. And they all grew into like these huge movie stars, and the franchise obviously grew. But that movie is such a cool like snapshot. Like everybody like in high school, Adam, you remember, Ryan, like people wanted like a lot of people had like cool rims, and they wanted
it was huge.
Yeah, and then like you go to a Fast and Furious movie. I remember seeing 2 Fast 2 Furious in theaters at Apple Valley Cinema. And you leave and you get in the parking lot, you get in your car and you peel out of the parking lot because you're in the mood. Yeah. I would love to have the experience to watch back to I gave one away. Fast and Furious. I would love to watch Fast and Furious again for the first time. I watched it at home on DVD. And while I was making this list, I looked at my DVD rack. I have Fast and Furious 5 different times in my DVDs. I have 2 regular DVDs. One is just a normal DVD. One is like the 10th anniversary DVD. I have it on Blu-ray, and I just got it in 4K from Best Buy, and I have it digitally as well. So,
do you think Fast and the Furious was like when the wife beater hit its peak? I'm talking about like the article of clothing.
I think it's either that or it's G Unit.
Yeah.
I think it's that or it's 50 Cent. But 50 Cent had a very
particular
style. Yeah, he had his own. But yeah, Vin Diesel definitely like.
I could wear the one Vin Diesel was wearing.
Right.
I'm not saying I'm going to look great, but I couldn't pull off the 50 Cent one.
No, I don't think anybody can. I had one of those back in the day. I don't know if you remember that, the black one.
Oh, yeah. It's the best.
You put it on as satire at best.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Goodfellas and then Fast and Furious for round 2.
All right. My second round pick, I'm going to go with The Departed.
Ooh, wow. Really good one.
Similar to Scorsese. I'm similar to Goodfellas, rather, with like the Scorsese movie. And it's a great movie, but there's also, I think, enough like unexpected twists in there that I would love to just like erase my memory and watch it fresh again. Honestly, I'd do it again just for the scene, spoiler alert, 16 years later, whatever it is, but with Martin Sheen getting thrown from the rooftop.
Yeah.
Like that just like still like shocks me to this day. That like, you know what I mean? He's not gonna die. Like, he's one of the main guys in the police department. So, I mean, I love that movie so much. It's one of the best cast movies, even though now I've been seeing online that like people are making fun of, especially like Alec Baldwin, Mark Wahlberg's like accents in it.
Yeah.
Which they are over the top, but it doesn't matter. Like it's still the movie. It doesn't diminish the movie at all. Like the movie still works. So that
you know what though? They're not over the top. You should hear how some of the guys at Jen's work talk.
Yeah.
It's
or
insane.
like imagine like cops and Southie.
Yeah, you're right. People think it's over the top, but it's not.
It's not.
No. It also the Boston accent is more of a setting than the actual city of Boston in a lot of Boston movies.
Yes.
Like you could literally film it in San Francisco and use the skyline and just put all those actors like with their Boston accent, be like, oh yeah, this is Boston. That's what Boston looks like.
Right.
Like I'm from Idaho. Like that's what Boston is.
Yeah. That's a great point.
Ryan, you watched the latest season of MasterChef, right? With that girl,
Yes.
Autumn from Boston. That is that's a real Boston accent.
Yeah. A lot of the union guys I worked with in Boston, I'm sure the people that are janitors around too, Adam. Like they're very, very heavy. That's not too out of the ordinary.
No. And if anything, it makes it a little more authentic because you're not trying to perfect it. You're going over the top because that's how everyday people talk. So,
right.
Undeparted.
Cool.
All right, so I've got my back-to-backs.
Yes, sir.
You do.
All right, I'm going a comedy route for this one.
Okay.
I'm breaking the seal. I am going with The Hangover for my second pick.
Fuck.
I didn't have that one.
That's a good pick, Adam.
The Hangover. Like Ryan, I still remember the first time we saw that trailer at 5 Ashley Court. I was pissing myself watching the trailer, and then the movie just blew it out of the water. Hilarious.
And I remember us talking and saying like, oh man, I hope they didn't show all the funny parts. A lot of movies do that. You show all the funny parts in the trailer. They did not. It would be impossible to do that. It would have to be a 2-hour trailer.
Yeah.
But that, to me, that's one of the funniest movies ever. And I think I saw it at least twice in theaters. But, it's still one of those things that sort of loses it a little bit after you've seen it once, because there's no I can't think of another movie. I mean, I'm sure there are other movies like it, but you lose a little bit of funny every time. And then after that, they made so much money, they basically made the Hangover Part 2 was basically the same movie, and then they made the third one too, but the original one was just downright hilarious. Every part of that movie was funny.
And that was Bradley Cooper's coming out party for his Hollywood stardom. You don't have that movie, you don't have a lot of the Bradley Cooper hits that we all know and love now.
Right. Like I think he was in Wedding Crashers before that.
Yeah.
But still, like you're right, Matt. That was the one that really, really put him on the back.
He also had
on the map. Sorry.
He also had an amazing head of hair, and I remember that was
a look.
I went with Connor to see it in the Warwick Showcase, and I remember that was right at the beginning of when I noticed that I was losing my hair a little bit, and I was like, I'm never gonna have hair like that. I will never have hair like that. It's unfortunate, but I remember being like, what the fuck? His hair it looks so fucking good.
I think Wedding Crashers showed he could be like a good comedic actor or a good actor.
Yeah.
And then Hangover showed that he could be a leading man. He could be he could be the guy. If you needed him to carry a movie, he could do it.
Yeah.
Right. And then my first pick of the third round, I'm gonna dip back into more serious movie. I'm gonna go with Fight Club.
Oh.
So, you like that?
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
I watched. What year did Fight Club? If one of you guys want to look that up for me, what year Fight Club came out?
97.
While I pine here, so that was a movie
99.
where I'd always heard about, right, and I had never seen it. You know what I mean? I seen, the bar of soap and like, oh, you hear this, you don't talk about Fight Club. And I really didn't know anything about it. And I watched that movie for the first time at my parents' house when I was home for Thanksgiving break, freshman year of college. So like, it's that 2007 was the first time I saw that movie. Blown away. I was like I had nobody ruined it for me. It never got ruined for me. So like a cult classic movie like that.
That David Fincher?
didn't get ruined for me. And I very thankful that happened because it was, worth waiting all that time to see it. Great acting and a really unique story. And the big reveal at the end of, that Tyler Durden is the narrator was really great. So
that's one of those quintessential college poster movies, and what I mean by that is
yes.
that everybody had that fucking poster or the T-shirt or a line from it in their AIM bio. Like,
and I was too embarrassed to admit that I never saw it.
I honestly, a lot of people had that happen too. A lot of people.
Well, it doesn't matter. You could get away with it just by doing the popular quote or like, oh yeah, it's from Fight Club.
Or Pulp Fiction is another one of those movies.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
very good pick.
Thank you,
Ryan.
All right, my third round pick. I'm gonna go with Speed.
Speed.
Ooh,
love it.
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu. Yeah.
Keanu Reeves. Sandy Bullock. Honestly, just one of my favorite movies. I could have picked this first in the first round. I absolutely love Speed. Every time I rewatch it, I just love it even more. But it's just a solid action movie with two really good, like young, up and coming, like you can tell they're going to be enormous movie stars, which is just kind of cool to watch it like when they were in that era of their fame. And then you have a great villain in Dennis Hopper. It's just an absolutely excellent movie. And if I could like wipe my mind clean and watch that for the first time again, I would absolutely do it. And that's Jeff Daniels, right? I think he's like he's Keanu's partner. I don't want to get it mixed up.
Yeah. Hold on, let me look it up.
That's an absolutely. I think I'm thinking of Speed. Sometimes I get them mixed up.
Well, Dennis Hopper's the villain. I know that.
It is because Jeff Daniels plays like the bomb squad guy.
Yes, Jeff Daniels, Sandra Bullock.
Terrible, tragic. But yeah, I'm going Speed. I love that movie.
How do you like Speed 2 Cruise Control?
No.
Garbage.
No.
It's garbage.
Yeah.
Speed is such a good movie.
It's such a good movie. And it would be a perfect standalone movie. Just like it's Speed.
Yeah.
Similar to another movie that's on my list that I'll either get to or it'll be in my honorable mentions or one of you guys will say.
All right, Adam, I'm so happy. You done, Ryan?
I'm done.
You good? Adam, I'm so happy that they came back to me, these two movies, because I thought you were going to pick them. Number one, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
How did it take you guys so long to get to Lord of the Rings?
Well, because I knew you weren't going to pick them.
No.
And I was hoping I was going to sneak by the Adam's first picks and get here. So here we are. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
Nicely done.
Honestly, when I watched that movie at home, and most recently in the new 4K extended versions, my God, what an experience. But to be back in theaters, and I mean, we did see it in theaters recently.
Yes, we did.
Which was amazing in Dolby. That was fucking awesome. But to be able to see that movie again for the first time as a kid, when it first came out, that would be tremendous. Like maybe I could watch Goodfellas and Fast and Furious at home again for the first time, and I'd be fine with that. But I would need to be in the theaters with a bucket of popcorn for Return of the King.
And I feel like Goodfellas and Fast and Furious, like you could watch as an adult and have a similar feeling of it, but Lord of the Rings kind of almost brings you back like to your childhood.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a caveat of like go back to like young Matt and also like put me in that. Oh my God, fucking fantastic.
Still haven't seen it. Haven't seen it.
We gotta sit you down. You haven't seen any of those movies, right?
No.
Okay,
the three of us will just take the day. Yeah. We'll get up at 4:00 in the morning and we'll watch all 6 movies.
All right.
It'll be a long day. All right. So I got that one out of the way. Very happy that I got that. Now, here's where it's going to get tricky because I have a very large list. But I'm going to go again with another in-theater experience that I will never forget. It was recent. I will never forget it. It's Avengers End Game.
Nice. Damn, I had that on mine.
It is such a lovely wrap-up to the Avengers 4-movie saga. That first 3 phases, right, Adam? Is that considered the first 3 phases of the MCU?
Yes.
Right? End of 3rd. We're getting into the 4th.
Yep.
It was
No Way Home was the last of phase 3.
It was saying goodbye to some old characters, saying hello to some new characters, other characters shifting into different roles. It set up Disney Plus's basically all of their shows. And it was just a magical experience because of how it was set up. Infinity War and Endgame filmed at the same time. And they released Infinity War almost right, exactly a year before. Adam, was it?
Yeah. I think they were a year apart.
And they, obviously, it was like a part 1, part 2 type thing. It really wasn't 2 different movies. It was really like a part 1, part 2. And Endgame was just amazing. There's just some great set pieces in that movie that are like, I mean, it's one of those like in the movie theater, like the crowd, the theater gets rowdy multiple times for that movie. And I know, Ryan, you haven't seen that either.
No.
Oh, it's incredible. So incredible wrap up to the Avenger movies and to that first 3 phases of the Marvel MCU, which has forever changed Hollywood. And I would love to experience that again. I was in DC working and I couldn't get tickets to one of the good theaters. So I had to go out of town, like 10 miles outside of DC, and go see it at a theater that wasn't even stadium seating. Like the theater was garbage. And I know. I just, because I didn't know where I was going to be and if I was going to be working, so I didn't get tickets in advance. And so I went to go see it, and the seats were comfortable. This theater wasn't great, but the experience was still there. And like people were dressed up, and like that was cool. And then the next day I saw it again at the Air and Space Museum, and it was the worst experience I've ever had in a theater. The seats were at 90-degree angles, and you were sitting straight up, and you were so packed in there. It's literally the IMAX at the Air and Space Museum. I don't know if you guys have ever been there. We went, but I don't think we ever went in that theater.
We went to the museum, not the theater.
They have a theater that they play like the documentaries on, and they also play some big movies on. But the seats are so narrow, and I was sitting next to these 2 guys I worked with, and they are also big guys, and we were all just like this the whole time. So not great, but the first time, I would love to see it again for the first time.
Oh, nice pick.
Thank you.
Happy for you.
Thank you.
So my round 4 pick, I'm gonna go with Wind River. I don't know if either of you have ever seen this movie. It's a Taylor Sheridan movie.
Very good movie.
Very, very good movie. I think it's my favorite movie that he's made, which is saying something because he's made a lot of very good movies.
Hell or High Water.
Sicario.
Yep.
Yeah, he's done a lot of good stuff. But this one I would want to go back and experience for the first time, mainly for like the big twist that I really like. You saw coming, but the way they filmed it, like the timeline they filmed it in, was perfect. So when they did the flashback towards the end of the movie of what happened, it was that much more effective. And it's a really, really good movie. Jeremy Renner is excellent in it. And now Jeremy Renner's in like his new show, Mayor of Kingstown, which he's also very good in. So they clearly have a good working relationship. But I'm going to go with Wind River. Kind of like a newer, like lesser known movie, but I still remember like how I felt watching it.
Yeah.
And I would love to go back, mind wiped clean to experience that.
That's one of those movies that does that. It's like, oh, that's great. And you'll never experience that. Like, oh my God, for the first time again, 'cause you know it's coming. And that's a very underrated film for sure.
It is.
I put that in my Overlord category. Like Overlord is the quintessential for me. Like you haven't seen this movie because it is severely underrated. But it is like I put Wind River right there too. A lot of his movies too, because I don't think he's not super he's not super popular in the box office.
No, he doesn't really care.
Yeah.
It's like it's well written.
Yeah.
But it's violent.
Yeah.
So it's not going to get. I mean, but Hell or High Water did get nominated for Best Picture.
Right, it did.
So I think that was him kind of like appeasing to be like, all right.
It didn't have the things that Sicario might have been nominated too. I don't think so. But it doesn't have the things that Wind River does and Sicario has.
Right.
It was very just popcorny.
And I feel like if Jeff Bridges wasn't in it and didn't get nominated for Best Supporting, it might not have got the love. That's all it takes.
Probably true.
So yeah, that's mine. So now we go to Adam back to back.
Adam back to back, and this is Adam's last two.
Mm-hmm.
Last two picks. So again, I'm going with another two more. I mean, these are theater experiences for me. So this one is, somewhat recent, and we actually have mentioned it on the podcast earlier today. Like leading up to this movie coming out, I kept seeing trailers of it, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? What is this?" I had no idea what it was, and I kept seeing these like short snippet trailers, like "Get Out, Get Out, Get Out." I'm like, what the fuck is this movie? And then I saw like some reviews of it that it was just blowing people's tits off. So I was like, Jen, like, do you want to go see this movie? It like, I hear all these reviews, like it's really like it seems like it's really good. So we went to go see it like at the second night. It was out like on the Saturday night, and we were living at the apartment in Chelsea, so we went to go see Get Out, Jordan Peele's directorial debut, and it was very culturally diverse movie theater. And the audience was wild, hooting and hollering the whole movie. Oh no! Like yelling at the screen. It was like the best, probably like the most fun movie theater experience I've ever had. And it was great, and a great movie. Like you definitely leave that. I left that movie and was just like uncomfortable after leaving that movie. But it was just a tremendous experience because like the movie had funny moments and obviously gets super serious and then goes way beyond what you think is happening, with the brain swapping and all of that good stuff. But seeing I would like to have that movie experience of seeing Get Out on a whim and then just deciding all over again to decide to go see it and just being blown away by one of the best movies of that year. That was a nice,
great pick.
Great. And last but not least, I am going with another comedy movie. This is one of those similar to your Fast and Furious pick, Matt, where like that is what was happening at the time for us, and that is Superbad. Superbad came out in 2007, and that is the year that we started college. I remember going like when I left that movie theater, I thought it was the funniest movie I'll ever see in my whole life. I was like top to bottom, again like The Hangover, every part of that movie is funny, and it was so relatable at the time because that's what that's what we were trying to do at the time. Go to parties, buy booze, meet girls, this and that. It's exactly what was happening.
Yeah.
And to experience that level of funny again at that time again, I think would be amazing. So Superbad is my last pick.
That's a great one. Great comedy. And yeah, you're right. It hit perfect for us.
That movie almost felt like it was made for like us. I mean, I'm a year older than you guys, but made for like our age.
It worked for anybody that was even early high school, early to late high school and college. Like it works for you.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
All right, my last round pick. I'm gonna go. I believe we saw this movie together.
Okay.
I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Limitless.
An actor in Limitless is in it.
Okay.
2 of them actually. Right?
Really?
Yeah. I'm gonna go.
Oh, I know exactly.
I'm gonna go with Silver Linings Playbook.
There it is.
Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence, Robert De Niro. I just absolutely adore this movie. I love it. There's no really, it's not a twist and turn. It's not a big spectacle. It was just like a really well acted movie that like had like enough lightness to it to like, I just really enjoyed it. We saw it together, right?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. And I've seen it, God, I don't know, 15 times since. And if I could go back knowing what I experienced the first time I watched it, if I could like erase my memory and go back and watch it for the first time again, I would do it. I just love that movie. I think to me, it's as close to a perfect movie as you're gonna get.
Yeah,
So-
that's a really great movie.
David O. Russell hasn't done anything since Joy. He
He's
has
canceled.
something. He has something in. Was he?
I don't know. I'm asking.
I don't
He
think
did-
so.
Not that I know of.
I don't know, but
He did a bunch in a row.
Yeah, well, he did. Let's see.
He did Silver Linings. He did the one with Christian Bale and Jeremy Renner.
Director. Yeah,
American Hustle.
American Hustle, Silver Linings, The Fighter,
Yeah, The Fighter.
I Heart Huckabees.
Because Joy was a
Kings.
while ago.
Yeah, Joy was 2015, and then he had a short in 2016, and then he has an untitled David O. Russell in post production and coming out 2022.
Oh, maybe he's just, I don't know.
It's a big gap. But
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. He had a bunch right in a row.
Yeah. But I do, and I enjoy his movies too. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Silver Linings is my favorite out of all of them, but The Fighter is a unbelievable movie.
Awesome, yeah. And I love American Hustle.
American Hustle's really good.
Yeah.
Three Kings is really good. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Silver Linings.
Very good.
I love that movie.
I had that on my list as well. Okay, so this is going to be tough. Last pick, the irrelevant pick. I could go a number of ways here.
The world is yours.
I know. And there's two that maybe three. All right. I'm going to go with this one because I remember being absolutely flabbergasted in the theater when I saw it. And that is the original Saw movie.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Ooh, that's a good one.
There's a bunch of other here, and we'll go through honorable mentions. But the first Saw movie, I remember I was sitting in the front row because it was so packed. I remember people were so excited to see this movie, and my neck was like breaking looking up at the screen. And the final scene of that Saw movie was amazing. Because
Incredible.
Like what a twist.
Yeah.
What a twist. Didn't expect it at all. And I remember it being like a super it was super gore porn, kind of like Eli Roth style shit. Or what do they call that? It's just it's just it's just gory for gory's sake.
Right. There's excess blood.
Yeah, it's gore porn. And it is that, but also they kind of lost it later on. And but it did have that story to it, and even the second one had a cool little story to it, but it never beat that first twist. So I'm going with Saw. I remember being
He stood up
yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah.
because he's just not thinking of that.
Right.
And you know what? That it definitely obviously was by design, but because all you're focusing on is the gore.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, this is
It's nuts. You're focusing on the two guys that are in the room.
Yep.
Carrie Ells and I forget the other guy's name.
Shaquille O'Neal.
It's not Shaquille O'Neal. If it was Shaquille O'Neal, I think
He was in
could've-
this. I think was it him and Dr. Phil when they did the spoof of Saw?
Did they?
I think so, and he had to shoot the free throw.
Oh yeah, that was a scary movie.
yeah.
Yeah. That was a scary movie. So yeah, Saw 1. My honorable mentions: Back to the Future. I gave that one away just because that's a very classic movie for me. I didn't see it in the theaters, but I would love to see it for the first time again. I love it. Looper was the other one that I was deciding between with Saw because it also had not a super big twist per se, but a really cool concept and kind of like one of those movies where as you're watching it, you start to unpack what could happen. And that's kind of why I like that. Arrival, one of my favorite sci-fi movies. Jaws, No Country for Old Men, The Dark
that was
Knight,
on my list too.
The Dark Knight, Alien, The Thing, and Terminator 2 is my list.
Very nice.
Do you have any honorable mentions, Ryan?
I do. The Truman Show is one I would like to. I just really I like Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
I like Ed Harris. I mean, it's a good movie. It's cool. I would as long as I could go in not knowing, not having it spoiled for me.
Yeah,
I really like that movie. Jurassic Park.
great one.
Wedding Crashers is one that I just it's just such an enjoyable experience. I remember how happy I was when I first saw it.
Yeah,
It's just a fun movie. It's just really good. Point Break.
great.
Nice.
The original Mission Impossible, the original Rocky, and The Matrix.
Wow, Matrix is a good one.
Thank you.
I had The Thing, an Alien, Dark Knight, No Country for Old Men as well. I thought about putting Point Break, but didn't. But my sort of unique ones are Dumb and Dumber, Prisoners, with Jake Gyllenhaal.
I was going to put that
and,
one. Yeah, that's a really good one.
The Waterboy. One of my favorite movies is We Own the Night and Paranormal Activity were my other ones.
Good picks.
Fun draft. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, great idea.
All right.
I put all of the honorable mentions in the
doc.
In the doc.
Excellent.
Yeah, I filled it out while we were doing it.
Yeah, that was good. That was fun to think of because I was trying to think of like a good mix of like, because obviously some of mine weren't that I didn't see in theaters, but also like I wanted to do some of those theater experiences that I wish I could do again. So that was fun. All right, what have we been watching? I'm gonna start because I haven't been watching shit, nothing new at least. I literally have been watching. So when you guys came over the other day, we watched. I Think You Should Leave. Mm-hmm. And after you left, Ryan and I watched the Jackie Daytona episode of
nice.
What We Do in the Shadows, and then together we also watched the holiday special for Trailer Park Boys, the movie.
Love it.
The Christmas special, which is, I mean, it is the Trailer Park Boys near their best.
It was very funny.
Yeah, very, very funny. If you haven't seen that and you're a Trailer Park Boys fan, like you should definitely watch that. Very funny.
It's funny if you. It's almost like an origin story. So like you don't really need to know the show to see it, but it helps if you do. But I was talking to Ryan about it, man. Ryan said he wished there was more drunk Leahy because he doesn't get drunk until the end, which I can agree with that.
Yeah, and he like. Just, I mean, have you watched? Have you used to use? So you've seen some.
I've watched like a good amount, not like concurrently, but I've watched.
Yeah. If you watch any Trailer Park Boy episode with Miss Leahy, then he's drunk. You'll get your fill. I just think there's like the fun throwaway lines where Bubbles is talking about. He's like, and that's it. I'm done with shopping carts. I am done with and like his whole like one of his whole things is fucking shit. That's great. I've been watching The Sopranos again, just like a slow burn rewatch, like as I've been doing other things, like kind of like having it on in the background. Great. I'm kept up with Succession. I'm totally caught up with Succession. An incredible last episode, absolutely incredible. The season finale is next week or this coming Sunday, so very excited for that. And then once that is done, then I'm hoping to get back into Yellowstone with Lindy. We're gonna binge this new season, and I got a lot of shit I got to watch. I started watching Hawkeye. I watched the first episode. Very into it. Very, very into it. I missed the like. What if I only saw like one episode, and I missed the like the Marvel shows that are connected to the movies. I really missed that with after Falcon and Winter Soldier. So I'm glad we're back. I'm glad we're back there. And so, very good so far. And that's it. That's all I've been watching.
Ryan, I've got kind of a big list, but I can run through a bunch of these if you want me to go.
Yeah, you can go. I'll go last.
Okay, so as far as I watched one episode of that show on Netflix called Cowboy Bebop with John Cho from Harold and Kumar. It was all right. I don't know if I'll continue, but we'll see.
Here's going to be a hot take.
Mike D's going to be disappointed.
Mike D really liked it, and I forget if he said he liked it better than the anime or if he even watched the anime. The anime is fucking awesome. And I know Ryan's feeling on animation over just like animated things in general. Yeah, you'd rather watch, I know. But Adam, you might be into it as well. If that doesn't grab you, you should watch the anime. It's very good.
Okay.
I have it on Blu-ray if you want to borrow it, the whole series.
Okay.
So
at John Lynch's recommendation, I watched a couple episodes of Tacoma FD. Pretty funny.
I didn't know where that sentence was going to end.
It was either going to be that or the Rookie.
Yeah. Hey, the Rookie is doing very well.
Okay.
So Tacoma FD, pretty funny. The guys from Super Troopers, two of them. I watched the Solar Opposites, the same people that do Rick and Morty. They did a Christmas special on Hulu recently. That was very funny, just a half an hour thing. I finished season 5 of Rick and Morty. Also very funny, a lot of animated stuff. I'm caught up on Yellowstone, which is great. I also got it in me. I rewatched after this recent Restore the Snyderverse campaign. I rewatched Zack Snyder's Justice League. Amazing movie.
Great.
Awesome movie.
Mm-hmm.
I could go on. I could go on forever. I could go on forever about it, but I love that movie. All 4 hours of it.
March 18th is a very special day.
It is.
It is. Very special day.
For 2 reasons.
Yes.
At Ryan's request, I absolutely decimated Last Man on Earth. Decimated it and loved it. It's hilarious. I love Will Forte. I love his like brand of comedy and the whole cast. Todd was my favorite character. He was in a pop and lock group in college for some reason. That's part of the show. So I thought that was a great show. Very disappointed that it ended the way it did. But it's a very funny show, worth watching. So Jen and I watched the new Gossip Girl. What a show. What a show. Let me tell you guys.
This is the HBO version.
The HBO
right?
version.
Okay.
I told Jen that I, was starting to like it more than the original version. And I'll tell you why. All our female listeners out there, because I know there's at least one. The jump in social media and technology did wonders for this premise where, people send in tips on social media about, Manhattan's elite to sort of gossip on their lives and what's happening with their lives. Like Jen wanted to start rewatching the original version, and it still works really well, but it's funny seeing everybody there's not an iPhone in sight. It's 2007, not an iPhone in sight. Everybody's texting. Gossip Girl is a blog. And so the Gossip Girl as an Instagram account works better than a blog. I think it's more modernized, and the HBO budget is incredible for this show. Like being able to like really play up the status of all the people in the show. I was telling Ryan, in the original, there's this character. His name's Chuck Bass, and he's sort of like a rich boy womanizer. And so the new one has their own version of Chuck Bass, and his name is Max Wolf. And I thought, how could they possibly improve upon the Chuck Bass character? First of all, they didn't make him a sexual predator, but they made him a non-binary, like ladies and man's man. Like he's like they made him bisexual. And so now not only is he like going after everybody's girlfriends, but he's also going after everybody's boyfriends too. And like he's always drunk and on drugs. He's like a super interesting character. And the actor that plays him I was telling Ryan, he's a star. In the same way that Victoria Pedretti from You is a star. And Hill House, she's like, I saw that series You.
Who is she?
She was the younger daughter in Hill House.
In Hill House. You could just tell. She's a star, that actress. And I did the same way about this actor.
Nelly.
Yeah.
I watched a show on HBO Max called We Are Who We Are. Interesting show, Ryan. I think you guys would both really like it. It's the same director as Call Me By Your Name. It's sort of like a coming of age story where, two teenagers they're like soulmates, but they don't know it. And they also don't know who they are. Like they don't know how to deal with their sexuality with their parents, and it's in a military setting. So, that throws a wrench into things. And very good show though. Only 8 episodes. I watched Hawkeye. I watched What If. I watched Sunny. I watched Logan for the first time since theaters.
Oh, all right.
What a fucking movie! Like Logan, Hugh Jackman should have been nominated for Best Actor for that movie.
It was great.
He's amazing in it. And last but not least, this is the one I really wanted to get to. I watched a movie just on a whim. It's called Imperium, with Daniel Radcliffe, aka Harry Potter, where he's an FBI agent who goes undercover to infiltrate a white supremacist Nazi group because the FBI thinks they're planning a terrorist attack. And he's the lead, and Toni Collette is like his handler, and it's a very good movie. The acting is spot on. The whole movie is so suspenseful because you feel like you're him. You know what I mean? You're like trying to gain these people's trusts, but they could kill you at any second. And it's not. One thing that I liked about it is like they don't show any racial violence that stuff I don't like to see that stuff, even though it happens. Like, just doesn't sit well. But it's
Hot
all
take,
about
Adam. Hot take.
I'm just saying it's more about
Adam
the
doesn't like that.
psychology. It's more about the psychology of, this FBI agent, using his brain to get in with these people to uncover what they're trying to do. It's a highly recommend for me.
Sounds interesting.
It's only about an hour and 48. I don't think it got like a lot of play just because there are so many like white supremacist themes in it. You know what I mean? It's a lot.
Does anybody call him Harry Potter in it?
No, nobody calls him Paw.
Where's Paw?
And that's it. Sorry, long list. I watched a lot of shit this past couple weeks.
Good list.
Yeah. So for my list, still watching Yellowstone. Fantastic. Love it. It's great third season. Mayor of Kingstown is zipping along very well. Jeremy Renner is great in it. Mm-hmm. I'll stop there. It's Always Sunny. I watched the first 2 episodes. Very funny. Very, very funny. They came back with a bang. So Holly watches the show called La Brea, which looks terrible.
Yeah, that's the shit. I actually kind of saw the trailer for that. I was kind of interested.
It's terrible, but it's terrible and it's interesting. And Holly's like, "There's no way there's going to be a second season." I'm like, "Of course there is. This is how it works." But it's on NBC, and a catastrophic event happens, and now they're time traveling, and they're just taking from Lost. That's what they always do. So a couple that we watched, because we always try to find a show we've seen before that, like, if we don't really want to get into a new show, we'll watch. So we've been doing The League, which I mentioned earlier.
Great show.
Hysterical. Holds up so well. We've been watching Billy on the Street, which is on HBO.
Yeah.
It doesn't age well. I don't like it. I really don't like it as much as I used to.
What doesn't age well about it?
He's just so mean.
He's so mean.
And it's not that funny anymore. I don't know. Well, he's funnier when he's not mean.
Yeah.
Which maybe I just didn't realize it when I used to watch it originally, but he's so mean to these people who he's attacking
I know.
on the street. And I'm like, all right, well, this isn't really that funny. I'm very disappointed.
The clips I always see of, like, the little clips I always see of him, I always find they're funny. But I've never watched a full... I've only ever watched like the very small clips. Like he's with Seth Rogen. He's like, do you know who Seth Rogen is? And then sometimes they're like, oh, it's him.
So those are funny.
Yeah.
But when he's not with a celebrity and he's just going up like for $1 or whatever, he's just a dick.
See, I don't even know if I've seen any of those. I've only ever seen the clips he's with celebrities like Emma Stone.
Yeah, it's Amy Poehler, Tina Fey.
Yeah.
It's so funny. A lot of it is just Parks and Rec people.
Really?
He's got Amy Poehler, Chris Pratt, Nick Offerman, Kristen Bell. So it's like everyone who was on Parks and Rec, Rashida Jones.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was kind of disappointed. I'm like, I remember how much I love this show. I'm like, oh, he's kind of a dick. Like, I knew he was a dick, but
I gotta be honest. I don't know if I knew that it was a full show.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was just
it's like full 20-something minute episodes.
Huh. I guess I never thought about it.
Yeah. It's some of it's funny, but I was disappointed. A new show we're watching on Amazon, which I know, Adam, you're watching too. I don't know if you mentioned it.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't mention it.
Wheel of Time.
Very good.
I'm getting some Game of Thrones vibes in the best sense.
Yeah, it's
really
got a lot of potential.
Yep. Cool fantasy show. A good cast. It's still early on, so we'll see. Jury's still out.
But every episode has gotten better.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Every episode has been better than the last.
I agree, which is good. I'm glad to see that because you never know with those shows. This is because there's so much happening. It's such a deep cast that like all it takes is one or two kind of silly storylines for it to fall apart. Another Mike D recommendation, Kim's Convenience on Netflix, which at first I thought was an animated series. That's why I didn't watch it, but it is not an animated series. There are real people in it. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's heartwarming. I love it. I think it's great. Gonna go for one documentary here, Man in the Arena. I don't know if either of you guys have seen it.
That's
Tom Brady ESPN Plus documentary. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. There's been 3 episodes. There's going to be 10 total. Each episode focuses on the season when his team made the Super Bowl, win or lose. So the first 3 were when he took over for Bledsoe, when they beat the Panthers, when they beat the Eagles. So the 4th episode, which is tonight, is the first Giant Super Bowl.
Nice.
But it's really cool. So it's him and 2 other people in each episode. And then they just kind of talk about the season of what happened. So in the first episode, it's him, Drew Bledsoe, and Willie McGinnis. The second one was him, Rodney Harrison, and Laura Malloy. And the third episode was him, Mike Vrabel, and Teddy Bruschi.
Ooh,
And it's really, it's cool. They
that's
just
sweet.
like go through the season. I'm not even a Patriots fan, and it's awesome. So I can't imagine being a Patriot/Brady fan and not loving it. Succession, I can't think of like enough wonderful things to say, except it's just the best show on TV. It's not even close.
Yeah.
The last 3 episodes have been unbelievable. The last episode in particular, there's like 4 or 5 scenes that, like, how did they put them all in the same episode?
I love the. I know, right?
Each character had their own like signature stamp on the episode of awkwardness and terribleness.
Yeah, It's Adam. Are you all caught up?
He's never seen it.
Oh, you never seen it? God damn.
That's not true.
You started?
I today watched the pilot.
Finally.
I watched, and I gotta tell you, so I think I said this before. When I saw the trailer, when I saw this show was coming out, and I saw the trailer for it, I really, really wanted to see it, and just never did. And now it's like this hugely popular show, and I still haven't seen a lick of it. And so today I watched the very first episode, and I'm just like, I'm very excited to continue.
Oh, nice,
Brian,
good.
Love Brian Cox.
I thought you were gonna go the other way with that, but yeah, awesome. Yeah, the
Ryan,
yeah, I don't know.
Ryan, I can see how you said it's very intense, so it'll be a tough binge, but I'm gonna do my best to do it.
It is tough.
The direction Shiv has planted her foot and made a new direction, which is great. Like, I'm loving it.
There's a huge shift going
Yes,
on now,
yes,
which is saying something, which maybe we'll talk about after.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it for anyone.
Thank you.
And finally, I've been watching my fantasy football team letting the Jets beat the dog shit out of the competition in our fantasy football league.
Everybody.
So praise ye, praise ye.
I won my match this week.
You did. I did. Yes, I did. Adam.
Nope. Another week, another soul crushing loss.
See, you say that, but also last week you won by 0.15. So you have to take the good with the bad.
Last week I won by 10.
What was the one you won by like 0.15 or whatever?
No, that I lost to you by 0.15.
Oh, right.
I'm sorry. I lost to Neil by 1.5. Then I lost to you by 2.
By 2, yeah.
And then I beat John by 10, and I just lost to Neil to the worst team in the league.
Yeah, losing to Connor is tough.
2 points.
Al Pacino said it best.
The worst part is
it's a game of inches. The inches you need are all around
being that close.
Yeah.
Like, I was in bye week hell, and I still had a chance.
Yeah.
The big old goose egg from Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, pretty good.
Hey,
well, yeah, Lenny and the Jets are on fire.
We'll see. Keenan Allen's got COVID, though.
It doesn't matter, Ryan.
I know. I got a deep team.
My team is not deep. Very not deep. Very undeep. Very shallow.
Very shallow.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. All right.
Hey, I'll tell you what, though. Win against the Horn Dog this week, and I'm in.
You're right back in it.
I got my full squad this week.
Nice. I don't think I'm missing anybody. I think I'm done. With buys. Anyway.
And the Horn Dog's missing Jonathan Taylor.
Ooh, that's a big plus.
That is.
Yeah.
Yes. And Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, well. All right. Average Nobody's 135 for December 7th. In the books. We'll be back next week. We got another draft ready to go. Right? Don't we?
Maybe not next week, but the 21st we have one set in stone.
That's right. So the 21st, we are doing our Christmas extravaganza show. We are going to do a draft of Christmas movies.
Got Justine back in the studio.
On the 21st? I can't do the 21st.
God damn it, Adam. What are you doing on the 21st? Or like,
I have a dinner with a bunch of the guys in my family.
Oh my God. All right, we're going to have to figure that out. Maybe the 23rd, the Thursday?
I can do any time.
Okay.
I'm off work starting the 14th.
I can't do the Thursday either. I'm going to the Bruins game.
Fuck.
Jesus Christ.
How about the 20th?
I can do the 20th.
The Monday?
Yeah.
Just seeing if you hear this, the 20th. It looks like it's going to be the 20th. King Adam. Get very busy.
Whatever you want.
I'm a busy guy.
All right. Well, anyway, we're going to be doing a Christmas extravaganza soon. It's going to be a Christmas movie draft. Justine's going to be in studio. Adam will be in studio. Ryan will be in studio. He's not leaving. I'm locking the door.
I live here now.
And Ryan's staying here. So anyway, Average Nobody's Podcast. Thank you, everybody.
Oh.
Go!